If you tried to stop doing sales calls and start selling in the DMs, but your conversions completely disappeared or significantly dropped, I'm going to solve that problem for you in this video. And it's not because you suck at selling, it's not because your price is too high, and it's definitely not because people don't want or need your help. It's because you're trying to sell in the DMs with a business model that was designed for sales calls. So here's what I mean. Most coaches who switch from sales calls to DMs just kind of copy and paste the same process that they were using previously. Same content, the same lead nurturing, the same logic. The only thing that ever changes is in the DMs, they send them a Google Doc or however you present your offer instead of a calendar link to book a call. And then they freak out when the conversion rate drops from maybe 40% down to 0% in the DMs. And it's because your entire business was built around the sales call doing all the heavy lifting for you. So I call this a sales focused business. And it's how most coaching businesses operate. And it's how I used to operate my business years ago too. But when you rely on sales calls, you can get away with very weak marketing because it's the sales call process. And I guess let's be honest, it's mostly the persuasion and the objection handling that is the sole reason that you're able to convert leads into clients on the calls anyways. So with a sales focused business, your marketing, your content doesn't really need to do any selling for you. The only purpose of content or marketing with a sales focused business, everything that you put out into the world is simply to push people towards booking that sales call. That's it. And it can work. It does work if you love doing sales calls and you love being glued to your calendar. But as I'm sure you know, sales calls are time consuming. They limit your freedom. You're one no-show away from losing an hour of your day. You can't really scale unless you hire setters and closers. And most of us didn't start an online coaching business to become a full-time telemarketer. So you decided to switch to a sell by chat system and give selling in the DMs a chance. Smart move. But here's the mistake that most coaches make. You might have stopped doing the sales calls, but you didn't change anything else. You're still expecting to convert cold leads into paying clients to a $2,000 offer, getting them to say yes with one document and a couple DMs. Now, of course, if that's all you do, your conversions are going to plummet because you didn't fix the real problem. So if you want to be able to sell coaching packages in the DMs at any price point, you need to make a massive shift in your entire business model. You need to shift from a sales focused business to a marketing focused business. If you want to sell in the DMs, your marketing has to do what your sales calls used to do before. So your content, your emails, your stories, your lead magnets, your DM conversations, all of these puzzle pieces have to pre-sell, build trust, shift beliefs, and handle objections before somebody even sees your offer. You have to create the buyer before the pitch. So how do we do that? What does a marketing focused business actually look like? And what are the puzzle pieces that we need to put together to pre-sell prospects? Let's break this down. So step number one is clear positioning, or what I call cult branding. This is by far the most critical detail, and screwing this up or missing this step will completely destroy your conversions. So when somebody starts binge watching your content or they land on your profile, they should instantly know who you help, what you help them with, and more importantly than anything else, why you're the best person to help them. Essentially, why should somebody choose you over all the other coaches and competition out there in your niche or in your market? So positioning is not about sounding better than everybody else. It's about positioning yourself as fundamentally different from the rest. And when you're positioned that way, your prospects don't compare you to other people or other coaches or other competition because they can't, because nobody else is doing or saying the same thing that you are. So there's nobody else to compare you to. You want people to think, finally, this is who I've been looking for. This is what I've been looking for. The solution that I haven't found in the past. This is the missing piece that has been the reason that I have not been successful before. That's what you want people to think when they see your profile or they see your content. That is what you want your positioning to do before your prospect even reads your offer. Step number two is pre-selling with content. So your content has one job: convince your leads that they need your help. It needs to shift beliefs. It needs to create emotional buy-in. It needs to make your prospects see you as the only logical choice before they even message you. So this means that you're telling stories that dismantle objections. You're making posts that highlight your unique philosophy. You're giving people insights that make them go, wow, nobody else is saying this. Now, the mistake that most coaches make with their content is that they're only giving away tips or they're only giving away value. And that's going to attract triers and freebie seekers. And maybe you can get some of those people, you can push them to a sales call, and then you can hard pitch them into your coaching program. But when you're selling in the DMs, that doesn't work anymore. the content you give out can't give people the solutions that they're looking for, or else they're only going to look at your offer and be like, I can get this from this content, right? So stop giving away tips, stop giving away value in your content. Use your content strategically to convert people, to convert prospects from cold into sold. You're trying to pre-sell them with your content. You're not trying to impress them or show that you have all the answers. So stop making those mistakes with your content. Use it as strategically pre-selling leads by shifting beliefs and pre-handling objections, and you'll convert much better with your sell by chat system or your DM offer. So every single piece of content that you put out there, make sure that before you hit post, it has the intention of moving the prospect one step closer towards becoming a client. That's really the number one goal there. Step number 3 is daily emails. Now, an important part of pre-selling leads with your marketing is getting people to spend more time with you and consume as much of your content as possible before they see your offer. You already want to make sure that they know you, they like you, and they trust you before they see your offer. Now, that's very difficult with social media like Instagram, and the algorithms are making this almost impossible. So as it sits now in 2025, you're very lucky if you can hit post and reach even 10 to 15% of the audience that you already have with any single one of your posts. Most of your content that you post on social media, it gets shown to people that don't even follow you. Instagram, the algorithm is pushing it out to their goal is to try and push it out to new people so that you can build your audience. But the audience is useless now. The followers are a vanity metric that doesn't matter at all anymore. So using content on Instagram alone is not going to be able to warm up your leads and convert them from cold to sold enough before they actually see your offer. So we have to use more than just Instagram. So the goal with your content is to also get people to transfer them or pull them off of Instagram and start building an email list. If you can get people onto your email list, you can send them an email every single day. That email lands in their inbox of 100% of your subscribers every single day. And that email marketing system or that process allows you to consistently show up for your prospects on a daily basis. And it gets them consuming a lot more of your content, which means they're spending more time with you. So that when it gets to the point where they actually look at your offer or you present an offer to them, they already know you, they like you, they trust you because they've spent a lot of time with you. And that's not really possible if you're only using social media. So if you're trying to sell without sales calls and you're not already using email, your conversions are probably going to suck. So that's step number 3. Step number 4 is conversion-focused DM conversations. So your DM conversations are basically the final step or the final filter before people see your offer. And when you're running a sales-focused business, you can rush through that conversation. You can just use the conversation to push people to a call as fast as possible and then deal with all the objections on the phone. But when you are selling in the DMs, most people are probably not going to give you objections. They're going to just ghost you if they don't like the offer. So you need to slow down the conversation. You need to make sure that you are pre-handling all of your common objections that you get for your business to get the prospect into what is called the buying pocket before you actually present your offer to them. That you need to make sure that they are pre-sold before you show them your offer. Now, if you rush through the conversation here, or you let the prospect give you one-word answers, it is guaranteed that you're going to get ghosted after they see your offer. So think of the DM conversation like the first half of your sales call. You're just doing it in the DMs now instead of doing it on a phone call, a sales call, or on Zoom, right? So that's step number 4, the conversation. Step number 5, lastly, is your offer. Now, if you've done everything right up to this point, your offer itself doesn't really need to matter a whole lot. Your prospect should be pre-sold at this point, or they shouldn't even be seeing your offer. So your offer doesn't need to be crazy complicated. It doesn't need to go into massive amounts of detail. It shouldn't be packed full of persuasion techniques. The offer I use is a simple Google document. Looks just like this. It's 3.5 pages of text. I send this to them into the DMs, obviously a digital version of this. This is just a printed out version, but this is exactly what it looks like. It's just text only. It's a document. It says who the offer is for. It says what I'm going to help them achieve. It says how long it's going to take. It says what they're actually going to get. It shows them how I'm going to help them reach their goals. And it says the price. That's basically it. And this offer converts almost as well as I used to on sales calls. And I used to close almost 80% on my sales calls. So that's all you need. You don't need a complicated offer because those previous 4 steps should do all the selling for you, right? So these 5 steps combined are what I call a marketing focused business. Your marketing does the selling for you. Now, if you're trying to sell in the DMs and you don't take these steps here, your conversion rates with your offer are going to be absolutely horrible. You'd be lucky if you can convert anybody if you're still trying to do your marketing and your content the same way that you were before, and your DM conversations as well, and then just throwing the offer in the place of a calendar link, right? That's just not going to work anymore. So the hard part of switching from sales calls to DM sales isn't creating the offer itself. The offer is the easy part. The hard part is letting go of the old game that you were playing. It's realizing that your content actually needs to be persuasive. It's realizing that your emails need to be daily. It's making sure that your brand stands out and differentiates itself from all the competition. It's dialing in your DM conversations to pre-sell prospects before they actually see your offer. And your offer just needs to be very simple and clear. The sales call used to cover all of that. Now your marketing has to step up and take the place. It's not harder, it's just different. And when you get all this dialed in and get all this in practice, it's going to become much easier. And it's certainly going to become much less time consuming. So if your DM sales strategy is tanking, it's probably because you are still running a sales-focused business without sales calls. So fix the model, stop tweaking your offer a million times trying to find the perfect words, build a marketing-focused business model. Let your positioning make people choose you. Let your content do the selling. Let your emails build the trust, and let your offer do the conversion in the DMs. That's it. That's the process. Keep it simple, and I promise it will work. You just have to dial in the front end instead of only focusing on the back end of your sales process. Now, if you want a deeper dive into all the systems and strategies that I use to go into this process that make the system here work, that have allowed me to scale 2 coaching businesses to over 20K per month, then check out this video here next.